And we're back. Please let me take just a couple of seconds to thank everyone for giving me such a wonderful response to the I Am Moses movie. I am still going over comments, so if you have anything else to add, please leave it in the comments in that section, and I'll be sure to answer. The number one complaint I did read while going through comments was that a lot of people miss my commentary. And I have heard you all loud and clear, so there will be an I Am Moses movie recap where I go over all the main points of the video, so please stay tuned for that. But for now, we can go back to our regularly scheduled programming. I could not move forward without discussing Ethan's remarks about Trisha on the How We Does Stuff podcast. So let's get into it.
I also tuned into you a while back. I don't think you're doing it with her anymore, but there was that, what's her name, Trish? Are you on good terms with her?
No, horrible. She's married to my brother-in-law.
No.
Which is the craziest thing.
Wait, I didn't know that.
That's kind of what set everything spiraling out of control. My wife's brother they're married and she's pregnant, and it's really sad because, it's never good to be estranged from your family. And it's hard to get into all the details of the shit that went sideways. People online know, but yeah, it was bad, and we are not in contact.
Wait, but does your wife talk to her brother?
No. We were all really close with him, and he ended up marrying, Trisha, and everything went off the rails.
And how are the in-laws with her?
Oh well, they hate her guts. Yeah, if you want to ask seriously.
I did ask seriously.
Yeah, they fucking hate her.
Okay.
More than me, probably.
So then
I don't hate her, to be honest. I don't hate her, to be honest.
Ethan let it be known on record that he does not hate Trisha. Now, I've said before on this very channel that I could see a path toward a frenemy reunion, and I was met with a lot of opposition for even suggesting such a thing. So I'm glad Ethan made it clear, something that I thought was obvious. Ethan likes Trisha, which is why he had such a strong reaction to her post-frenemies. One thing we all have to understand is that our feelings about Trisha does not override Ethan's feelings towards her. We are watching them through a screen, and those two have actually interacted with each other. Where it is extremely easy for us to say Ethan should cut Trisha off, it is not as easy for Ethan. Remember, the first time Ethan interacted with Trisha was combative. And guess what? Ethan liked that interaction so much that he was thinking about doing a podcast with Trisha. It was fun for him and it was fun for her.
I've always considered our jousting as friendly.
Okay.
And I've always figured you probably think of, especially recently.
Yeah.
When you make a video and I make a video, then it's fun. And I always get excited when you respond. I'm like, yeah, baby, another podcast.
But now we're friends, and now I like you, and
And that's why I included this clip in the I Am Moses movie, because it was that interaction, even before Moses was involved, that got Ethan contemplating to do a podcast with Trisha. He said it to her many times before that he was thinking about working with her, even though she never believed him.
But let me explain, first of all, what brings us to here, which is a pairing up very bizarre. I've been wanting to make a podcast with like another comedian for a while, and I don't mean that to compliment you. I think I mean like two big personalities. Mm-hmm. And in my mind, when I kept trying to think of people to do it with, I always thought, me and Trisha have a really funny chemistry.
Oh, yeah.
On all of your visits.
Right. Well, yeah.
And I thought, well, fuck it. Let's just do it like that.
Ethan has always liked Trisha and vice versa. Even on their first meeting, Trisha was angling to be friends with Eli and Ethan.
Aw.
Well, I hope that...
Should we be friends in real life?
Though nothing ever came of it at first. It was only when Trisha started exclusively dating Moses that Ethan offered her the podcast. So in Trisha's mind, she linked her being with Moses as her connection to H3.
Well, we were kind of forced to, too, because Moses, right? Like, we have a mutual connection forever, so we might as well monetize it.
Oh, yeah, monetize everything.
Always.
I would have done this if Moses wasn't involved, I feel like.
No, that's not true. You didn't talk to me before. And then when Moses and I officially started dating, you're like, oh, something about... This was like months.
We were thinking about, we wanted to do a podcast with another comedian, and I brought your name up. Dan, you could testify. Sure. before you guys were dating.
But you never talked to me ever. Like, we never had a private conversation.
He's just saying that the seed of the idea already existed before you guys were in a relationship.
Really fun
but it didn't come to fruition ever. And then I was like, oh, I dated.
Well, there was just I don't know what it was, but there was a moment.
It was an ongoing conversation.
You're like, she's here to stay. So
no, that wasn't it. I swear to God. I was just like, you know what? I really want to make this third podcast, and I really think Trisha would be great. So let me ask her if she's interested. And you said yes. And the rest is history.
She said many times on the show that she hooked up with Moses to get to Ethan.
I liked you guys. I was like, this is a good, truly, when I first started dating, Moses, I thought it would be, a good idea because I was like, oh, then I can get close to you guys. I love it. I feel like I snuck into this world somehow.
Well, remember when
I snuck it through the back. I was like, here I am.
The back door through Moses?
Moses is the back door.
Even admitting that after a breakup with Moses, she only got back with him so that she wouldn't essentially be fired from frenemies. Trisha, what don't you understand? Ethan has basically told you if you broke up with Moses, he'd have Moses waiting outside in the rain, his natural habitat, anytime you came over to film frenemies.
I feel like I'd quit the podcast if we broke up. I almost quit
what?
today. Mm-hmm.
You're not quitting this fucking show.
You're still gonna let me on if me and Moses break up?
Yeah, what do I care?
Oh. Shit.
I mean, it seems like you guys are being mature about it, and to the extent that you guys, if you guys break up, you can separate amicably. It's not like, he's not. What the fuck?
You know that joke about if a couple breaks up and you have to decide which friend group goes with which person? Ethan was saying, Trisha, if you break up with Moses, you're going to be my friend, okay? He didn't care about Moses. At that point, Moses could go on somewhere. Ethan wouldn't have cared. He was going to side with Trisha.
I'm always willing to make it work, and there's nothing you can say or do or storm out or whatever it is that's going to make me abandon you.
Okay.
And I can tell you hate me so much right now, but I don't hate you.
Well, I know.
I like you still. My feelings didn't change for you.
Well.
Throughout my Frenemies Reloaded series, I've touched on these two scenes before. Because they illustrated how deep those words were and how Trisha never believed Ethan when he said them. In the English language, we pretty much use only one word for love. We may say, I love my parents, I love my spouse, I love my siblings, I love my friends, I love my child, I love my neighbor, and I love myself. Now, in the Greek lexicon, the word love would be different in every one of those sentences because they distinguish the word love in regards to different situations. Here are some examples on the screen of the definitions of love. And any Greek speakers in my audience, please feel free to chime in as I am only loosely familiar with this subject matter. And anybody else who has another language and who has many different words for the word love, please leave it in the comments below. So back to Ethan, and please, when I refer to love in regards to Ethan's feelings about Trisha, it is platonic. And I am in no way insinuating that he has romantic feelings for Trisha, or as the Greeks may say, eros. But yeah, Ethan was displaying agape, which we would translate to unconditional love. By telling Trisha there was nothing she could do to stop his feelings for her, that is the definition of unconditional love.
And there's nothing you can say or do or storm out or whatever it is that's going to make me abandon you.
Y'all, didn't I say I was going deep? Agape type of love is said to be voluntary and doesn't require anything in return. And I just want to add that that's the kind of person Ethan is in general at his core. If you're his friend, and that's it. But also, if you're his friend, he won't be afraid to call you out, which is what I consider telling you the truth.
Yeah, that's what I got to say. Mike, you got to we're besties and I love you and all that. You got to stop with the crypto shit, bro, because that's just, it's bringing you down, and you're a king. And I know you could be so much better. I know you could ascend to true kingdom, but I can't be fucking with you when you're doing that crypto shit, okay? So let's talk.
That crypto shit.
Maybe we should have him call in and we could discuss the crypto stuff and how can we move forward with our friendship. What do you guys think?
That crypto shit.
I don't think he will accept that condition of your friendship.
But anyway, I don't know. But there you go. Shout out to Mike. He's my bestie with an asterisk. With an asterisk. And, that dink-doing shit. I mean, come on, bro. You guys are up to shenanigans over there. You guys are straight up doing financial crimes. And so, while I love you, and you are my bestie, I'm saying this in your best favor.
And for everyone listening, if you have a true friend, it should be one who is not afraid of telling you the truth, even though it may hurt. Too many times we prefer to have people lie to us because a lie is more pleasing to the ear than the honest truth. That's where the phrase, "the truth hurts," comes from. It may hurt, but it is necessary. I'd rather hear the sting of truth from a friend who will tell me in love than from an enemy who only means to do me harm. Now, Trisha, on the other hand, deems all truth-telling to be criticism to which she is deathly afraid. She sees it as an attack. And the fact that Ethan told her he will always be there for her, instead of accepting it, she treated it as though it were a challenge. Would you be there for me if I storm out? Yes. Would you be there for me if I call your wife a name? Yeah. Would you be there for me if I call you a name? Yeah. Would you be there for me if I ask you for more money? Yes. So I want to show that up until the very last episode of Frenemies, Ethan was true to his word. He did not abandon Trisha. She abandoned him. Trisha walked out for the third time on Frenemies and demanded Ethan hire her a producer for the show, to which he agreed. It was only when he told her through DMs that a Frenemies vlog visiting a rage room would be canceled that week due to employee morale, but we'll get into that when we dissect the last episode of Frenemies. But it was only when that happened that Trisha decided to upload her resignation to YouTube.
And then last night, of course, I talked to Ethan and, he was saying the crew is really upset with me, that I need to step away from Frenemies. And it's really, really with a heavy heart that I say that.
Now, of course, all of this was a farce on Trisha's part, which we will get into another time, but it doesn't take away from the fact that she was the one that abandoned Ethan, someone who had repeatedly stuck by her.
I think the show could be as equally successful because I don't think I can do a podcast with someone else and have it be the same. I do believe he can. I do think he carries a lot of the sense of humor of the show. I really do believe that. I just liked being this person that has the same issues with food and gossips. It kind of just always had my back. You know what I mean? He really did have my back with every situation. And he's the one who brought light to the David Dobrik stuff and got other people to trust in him and share their stories. And he really did do a lot. And I know he had my back. And again, this is not my issue with him.
Back to Ethan and unconditional love. If you all remember, the first time Trisha walked out, Ethan begged her to come back. And I used the word beg loosely, but hear me out.
And Trisha, if you're watching this, please come back. We miss you already.
The second time Trisha walked out, Ethan and Ela begged her to come back. And if you want more detail on that incident, I'll link it above because I have maintained that was when Ethan offered Trisha the memberships. I think that's when it happened, and I have a whole thing where I talk about it because it wasn't in the original contracts. So each time Trisha walked out and came back, Ethan could always tell that she still seemed miserable because she never stopped bringing up more and more grievances she had with her working conditions. And that all accumulated on the last episode of Frenemies where she walked off for the third time. Ethan, at that point, did the only thing he could. He let her go. Why? Because instinctively he knew. If you love someone, you let them go. Right? Trisha, Ethan figured if you're not happy with me, even when I'm trying to make you happy, I am no longer a help to you but a detriment. Therefore, I will let you go and find happiness elsewhere, even though I want you to stay.
You're not quitting this fucking show. If you're quitting, I gotta buy you guys a therapist or something. I gotta make sure you guys get married because I don't want this to stop.
You see, he never wanted her to go. But he did let her go. And herein lies the problem. Trisha doesn't understand people who are genuine, only those who play games. Running away, coming back, running away, coming back, running away, coming back. You see, these are games she and Moses plays. Oh, wait, you didn't know? All right, watch this.
This is like a couple months after we were officially dating, like 6 months after we met. And I was like, you don't want to have a baby with me? Like, I'm really trying to have a baby. Like, and I don't know. I just was like, I don't know if this is going to work out. Like, I'm really, really sad about it. Like, it really bothers me like that. Like, you're not thinking about having kids right now. And I remember that night, like, oh my God, I was like really like I really was like, I don't think this is going to work out. Like, I really think you should leave basically. And he was like packing his stuff and like that I started crying. I like broke down. I was like, don't leave though. Like I told him to leave, but at the same time I was like, don't leave. You know what I mean? Couldn't like live without him because I was just like, oh my God, wait, don't leave.
You see? Yeah, that's their game. Trisha tells Moses to leave. He says, okay, not even having any intention of leaving, right? But he tells her, okay. Then she drops to her knees and she says, don't go. I can't live without you. Yeah. Trisha thinks she lives in Genoa City, and Moses is happy to oblige. But we'll get into that in another video. Now, Ethan wasn't with the dramatics because he actually thought Trisha wanting to leave meant she wanted to leave. And I'm not going to get at Ethan for not knowing how to decipher manipulation tactics because he, like most people, including Ela, mean what they say and say what they mean. And there you have it. Trisha walked off, hoping that Ethan would start another campaign trying to woo her back. All the while, she had no problem releasing videos, dogging Ethan out for AdSense money, while knowing she had every intention of going back if Ethan asked her. Okay, and the reason why Trisha doesn't understand agape is because her way of showing love is what the Greeks call mania. Mania is defined as a type of love that can lead a person to jealousy and anger. Mania can make people very afraid to lose their partner, and it will force them to do crazy things to maintain that relationship. Trisha has told us time and time again her version of love involves snatching away cell phones and keeping it for hours while punching and throwing away keys. Yeah, she thinks you do that to the people you love. And if that doesn't work, hey, why not try crashing a car into their house for good measure? See, that's what Trisha does when someone she loves wants to leave. Am I going too long? Because I want to add another thing about Trisha and her relationships that I've noticed, and it centers around this.
Tell a lie.
You defended me though, and you said I don't lie, I do exaggerate because I don't like just say like, oh, Ethan me. You know what I mean? No, trigger warning. Maybe I shouldn't say that, bleep, but I don't know. But I don't just lie. Like there maybe there's always truth to
I
it.
agree. I've never known you to lie. I don't think you're a liar.
Make stuff up about people.
You exaggerate, you distort, but you don't lie.
Or maybe I'm like just see it a different way. Like maybe my perception of how our thing went is different. But I'm never just like, oh my God.
You don't make shit up.
My face.
Yeah, you don't make shit up. I agree.
So thank you for defending me on that.
You're welcome.
Ethan's right. There were so many times on Frenemies, starting with the first episode, where Trisha was sure to bring up things on camera. It's like, this is what she does. She will leave little nuggets of complaints throughout each episode. She'll drop a nugget here, she'll drop a nugget there. She drops it because she wants it on record. That's why even those little instances where things were cut out of Frenemies, she would make it a point to say on future episodes that things were cut out. She did it for a reason. It's for when she leaves Frenemies, or is fired from Frenemies in her mind because she knew it was going to end badly. She always thought it was going to end badly. But that was her strategy. Because she knew any point when she stopped doing Frenemies, there would be little nuggets left on record where she could do this.
You exaggerate, you distort. You exaggerate, you distort. You exaggerate, you distort. You exaggerate, you distort.
An example. When Ethan repeated that candlestick story, again, only after Trisha would talk about it ad nauseum.
In the bus ride home, the party bus ride home.
Oh my God, why are you bringing this up? I know what you're going to say. Don't even bring it up. It's so awkward.
Oh, I shouldn't?
It's so awkward.
Well, now people are going to want to hear it.
Oh, it was cringe. I got back on
I didn't think I was such a faux pas.
It's like that TikTok where people do the like.
I didn't think it was such a faux pas.
I think it was a big one. I think
Go ahead.
No, yeah. I don't think
You can say whatever you want about it.
I have nothing else to say about it.
I'm going to tell the story.
No.
Oh, people have, but we've...
Yeah.
But okay, let me at least explain myself.
No.
Let me at least explain myself.
Okay.
I think a lot of the show was banter back and forth. And I think even myself, I got confused what was banter back and forth and what was just straight up triggering me by bringing up my past as a prostitute and stuff like that. When I so clearly said I don't want to talk about it, the first things that come to mind obviously are talking to my mom about my assault on a trip from Disneyland. He asked my mom what she thought about my assault.
She could blow that up to the most horrible thing that has ever happened to her in life that he did to her, and you can't say it's a lie because we all saw it as it happened. We can't argue with her emotions and tell her, no, Trisha, that's not the most horrible thing that has ever happened to you in life. You see that? She drops the nugget and adds the emotions later. Yeah, that's what it is. And at least Ethan is not in her crosshairs anymore. But Moses is. So let me just say this. Moses, if you ever leave Trisha, because as most of us already know, this is not Moses' first time at the rodeo, a divorce is not an unheard of act for Moses, and a child has never once kept a man where he doesn't want to be. So Moses, if you ever leave Trisha, she will do the same to you. How do I know? Because she's been leaving nuggets throughout all her videos with you. Y'all, every time I watch a video on Trisha's channel, and I've only been watching it now because of the I Am Moses movie, because in general, if Ethan is not beside Trisha, I don't care what she has to say. But as I've been doing research for the I Am Moses movie, I'm seeing her dropping nuggets about Moses all over the place. It's ripe with nuggets, okay? It's nuggets galore. Now, Trisha, I have to clue Moses in on what you're up to, but don't worry. In my next video, I'll tell you what he's up to so you both can be on even playing field. Because right now it's a toss-up. I don't know who's going to get the better of the other person, and you can leave your comments down below, because sometimes I want to think Moses has it unlocked, but then other times I think Trisha has the edge. But you tell me who you all think. So Moses, let me first start off by saying nobody here feels sorry for you because you were warned.
So many
and
years.
all of your boyfriends and relationships. That's what I'm worried about Moses, is that she's got a Rolodex of all this shit on you. And then when shit goes wrong, she's going to try to ruin your fucking life.
But this is what will happen. Remember on Frenemies 1 where you blindsided Trisha by not letting her know that you told Ethan she punched you? You really thought she was going to let you have one over on her? Remember, Trisha is always the victim. So when Ethan surprised her with the punch story, she had to act quickly. And she had to be sly at the same time because she didn't want to expose you, since at that point you two were on good terms. So instead, this is the nugget she dropped.
Tussle.
You guys were fighting over his phone? Oh my God.
Well, then I took his keys, and so he was trying to get the keys back. But can I say?
Yes.
How long did we fight for the keys? Like 12 hours? Yeah. Off and on? Basically 12 hours of fighting. But I had him, like, I was putting all my weight on it on the bed, like, to, like, not let him get it. Because I'm like, okay, all my weight's on it. He's not going to be able to get the keys. And literally, we just started, like, f***ing.
Oh, my God. You guys are so crazy. How is this? I don't understand.
Twice. And I was like, oh, maybe this is the key. Because we never did it like that. I was just, like, bent over, like standing. And I was just like, oh. And then he opened his pants down. And we just started f***ing. And I was like, oh.
Are you all picking up what I'm throwing down? Remember, Ethan said this.
You exaggerate, you distort.
She dropped a nugget, and she'll add her emotions later. Now you tell me what Trisha has to do to make this story go another way. How can she exaggerate this story and have it be true because we cannot say her emotions are wrong? Moses, I'm going to let you know, is going to be believe all victims. And she's going to team up with the other people who have allegations against you, in my opinion. But again, we here don't feel sorry for you because
she's got a Rolodex of all this shit on you. And then when shit goes wrong, she's going to try to ruin your fucking life.
Okay. You all want another nugget? or as Trisha would say, is the Trisha meal.
We're getting McDonald's after this.
What are you gonna get?
The Trisha meal, which is the 10-piece nuggets.
Okay, she's definitely going to use this one because when Moses first started seeing Trisha, it was about 2 weeks, if I got the timeline right. That's when she punched him and then he left her. So that was around early April. But I guess after she realized Moses wasn't coming back and she really thought she'd lost him, instead of letting him go, around May, she started DMing Ethan. And this is what she said about Moses.
You says he stalks to underage girls. I don't expect a response. And again, I don't want to talk to you again, but he's just a fraud and he's scary. You said he talked so much trash about me and made fun of my body and then used me. He's scary and vile, needs help. I truly thought he liked me, but he played me. He always was bitter. You said he's a psychopath. I have 24-hour security now.
So let me get this straight. Trisha said Moses is disgusting, scary, vile, needs help, played her, he's a fraud, and a psychopath. And Moses, don't get mad at me, I'm only quoting your wife. Like, bet, Moses, if you were to ask anybody in my life, the worst thing they can say about me is that I don't return messages. So everything that Trisha DM'd Ethan is on a record because Ethan read it out. So she will point to that. And
you exaggerate, you distort.
And we won't feel sorry for you because
she's got a Rolodex of all the shit on you. And then when shit goes wrong, she's going to try to ruin your fucking life.
Wrong.
I'll give you one more nugget because we'll be here all day. Y'all might even find some of your own. Trisha would say this a lot about Moses.
You like big boobs.
Moses is doing this off camera.
Okay, never mind. Well, he's more girl crazy than you think.
Okay, fine. But like, I don't think
he's very sex driven, if that's what you're saying.
Okay, fine.
In general, like more than you think. He says he's not, but he is.
Well, whatever. Who cares? Why you kink shaming your boyfriend?
I'm not. It's like when we role play. If I'm like, hey, pretend I'm your sister. It's just a kink.
Yeah, but she is your sister.
I'm talking about Moses and me.
Once I asked Moses if she ever asked him to pretend like he's Hila, and he said yes, but he refuses to.
You look so much like your sister, and I love it.
Yeah, especially when it's all covered. You just
my
get
God.
the same mannerisms.
Yes!
Y'all, Trisha is going to sing like a canary about what went on in their bedroom. Moses, she's going to tell us things about you in the bedroom that are illegal in all 50 states. She's gonna...
You exaggerate, you distort.
And we won't feel sorry for you because...
She's got a Rolodex of all the shit on you. And then when shit goes wrong, she's going to try to ruin your fucking life.
Wrong.
This is only the tip of the iceberg, but I didn't want this video to be so long. And now it's going to take me forever to edit.
Well,
how long have they been married?
They've been dating maybe, I don't know, maybe a year plus or something. I don't know.
And they're having a child?
Yeah.
She's going to be the mother?
Oh, baby.
But you're gonna
see that's a controversial take.
Yeah.
Did I do? No, I meant that like I'm just trying to.
Well, let's unpack that, Howie. What do you mean by she's gonna be a mother?
She's kind of wild.
Yes. Yeah. So, but anyway, it's just I can't. I was like, dude, if Howie gets pulled into like Trisha drama, that would be the best, funniest turn of events ever. Like, how fucking hilarious would that be?
Very odd, yes.
She has a direct road in to make a video about Howie crying on her kitchen floor. That is like almost too good for her to pass up.
She's theoretically kind of stepped away from that sort of content, though, right? I mean,
yeah. So this was, in my opinion, a true test for her to see if she takes the juicy.
Well, in the past, I mean, knowing Trisha in the past, if she was going to make a video, it'd be made by now. It would have been made 20 minutes after that video came out.
True.
So the fact that there isn't one by now, I feel like is a good sign that she's,
you might be right.
Growing a little bit.
You might be right. This was a true test, and so far, maybe she is reformed.
Right.
Maybe she is past all the drama.
Ethan, Dan is right, and it always boggles my mind how you still don't have Trisha figured out. She didn't respond to Howie, but listen, if she would have responded to Howie, she wouldn't have attacked Howie. Yes, Howie mentioned how she would be as a mother, implying that she would be a bad mother, but Trisha doesn't care about stuff like that until she has a problem with you. Trisha would have latched onto the part where Howie made it seem like he knew Trisha.
I
Podcast
met her
friends.
originally because she was on AGT. That's where I met her
I've
originally.
seen that clip. Isn't that crazy?
You saw
What was
that
she
clip?
doing? A fast talker or singing or something? I mean, I've
Singing
seen
for
the clip.
Howard Stern. She wanted to do Howard Stern, I think.
Oh, that was a long time ago. wasn't
Yeah, yeah. So that's where I knew her from. And then I met her again when she was dating David Dobrik's friend.
Jason Nash.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trisha would have gone the friendly route with Howie just to get on his show because she's never met a podcast that she didn't like. She'd go on Howie and talk about how much she's changed. That's the angle she would have took if she went on Howie's show. And can I at least give Trisha some credit? After Frenemies ended, Trisha made the rounds posting and deleting videos about Ethan and talk about him on podcasts. But when she realized she couldn't beat him, she did stop talking about him. December 2021, right after her wedding, was the last time she said his name. And even I can admit that Ethan is the one that has been poking the bear. And the only reason why he's poking the bear is because he thinks Trisha is still the old Trisha, and he's not buying into her new act. And neither is most of the internet. And Trisha, here's why I don't feel sorry for you. Because you reap what you sow. You've spent 15 years running amok on YouTube. When you spend your free time sowing hate, discord, mischief, and disrespect on the internet, don't act surprised at the rotten harvest. It's not our fault all your crops are infested. I believe people don't change. People don't change, ... unless they want to. So Trisha, if you are finally doing the work, because changing is hard work, it's something where you have to wake up every day purposefully choosing to do better. So if that's the track you're on right now, stay the course. It's only been 6 months since your last crying, exposing video. So a lot of people still won't take you seriously because of your prior 15 years acting up on YouTube. But who cares what we have to say? Just stay the course and prove us all wrong.